Shrek 5, guys. I mean, I'll tell you. Whenever I saw that the Shrek 5 trailer dropped, okay, my immediate thought was, okay, it's fake. Come on, people. Like, I know a fake fucking trailer whenever I see one, especially whenever it's Shrek. Looked a little bit harder, saw that Universal had posted it, and then I was like, oh my god. Kid you not, I've probably watched this teaser trailer like 100 times. Like, probably more. This shit has programmed me. So, what do us fans want out of this fifth movie? So I have to go ahead and address the fact that the first two Shrek movies are of a lot higher quality than the rest of them. And I think a big reason of that goes to director Andrew Adamson. He directed the first two Shrek movies. Then whenever he left after Shrek 2 to go direct the Narnia movies, that's whenever they pulled in other directors. I mean, of course, me as a young kid, whenever Shrek the Third came out, I was hype, I was happy, had all the merchandise, thought it was a 10, thought it was amazing, thought it was great. As you get older, you start to smell the shit. I'm not going to talk shit about any of my babies. I'll tell you that every fucking Shrek's a 10 because I'm biased. But Shrek the Third is the weakest of the bunch. Whenever Shrek Forever After came out, yeah, critics were a lot harder on it then, but people are a lot easier on it nowadays. Because it made up for the disaster that was Shrek the Third. So yeah, you had Andrew Adamson on the first two movies, you had Chris Miller directing the third, and you had Mike Mitchell directing the fourth. And it only makes sense that you would bring Andrew Adamson back, right? If you're going to work on anything Shrek. He was a consultant on Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. He's one of the first names you see at the end of those credits. And that movie was critically praised. I've never heard one negative thing about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Was it because Andrew Adamson had a little bit of a hand in it? I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Joel Crawford, the main director, fucking hats off to you, dude. You have all my respect as a director. I want to see more. So yeah, if you would have told me that Andrew Adamson is not directing Shrek 5, I would have said, buddy, wait about 10, he'll come in. But the teaser trailer drops, and who do I see as the head director but Walt fucking Doran? 100% needs to be the director for this movie. I didn't think that there could have been a better choice than Andrew Adamson. The guy started off at DreamWorks back whenever Shrek 2 was in production. The guy has had his hand on the franchise since Shrek 2. He was head of story on Shrek Forever After. He was so good at pitching the storyboards that they gave him the voice role for fucking Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin is directing Shrek 5, people. I'm not even scared. It's crazy. I'm really excited. Who is gonna want to do this franchise more justice than somebody who started off his lifelong career working on it? This man was the perfect choice for director. I'm sure that Walt Doran will do this film more than enough justice. I have a feeling that DreamWorks is very aware that the quality of the films did drop there around 2007, and they really want to make up for it. But to all of you guys around my age, in your early 20s, late teens, not only has Walt Doran been working on the Shrek films for the last couple decades, but he also worked on SpongeBob during the golden years. This man wrote for SpongeBob during the golden years. We can expect some stellar writing from this movie. This movie is not just going to be a cash grab, people. Dude, this guy has literally had our childhood in his hands this whole time, and we didn't even know it. Now, let's talk about a big worry that people have had going into Shrek 5. A big problem that I hear about that people foresee with this movie is that it's gonna be nostalgia fuel. Listen, coming from the biggest Shrek fan you'll ever see ever, I'm perfectly okay with nostalgia fuel. I just don't want it to fuel the whole movie. I want the movie to be driven by its story and its characters like Shrek movies are supposed to be. And of course, the humor. I know it's pretty insane, but guys, I want something as compelling and as intriguing as Shrek 2. I want something just as good, if not better. But how are you gonna elevate off of Shrek 2? Well, we saw how willing Shrek was able to go for Fiona. I mean, he literally was ready to do exactly what she did for him in the first film, and he offered Fiona the chance to be that way forever. He was willing to go above and beyond for his wife, harder than I've ever seen an animated character go for his wife. But we don't want to do the same old thing, right? Yes, we've seen Shrek go above and beyond for Fiona. How do we build on to the idea of Shrek going above and beyond? Well, who could he go above and beyond for that would be even more empowering and even more touching? His kids, Fergus, Farkle, and Felicia. I want to see Shrek go as far for his kids as he went for Fiona in Shrek 2. One thing that the third movie doesn't have in common with the rest of the Shrek movies that might say something about its quality is its opening. That classic storybook opening like we had in the first one, the second one, and Forever After is what I want to see for Shrek 5 as well. I want to see us open up on a book, light, shine, and pan down over top of it. But I would really, really like a new voice to be heard whenever that book is being read. Just like we had with Shrek 2 whenever it opened up and Prince Charming was doing the narration. And then in Shrek Forever After whenever Rumpelstiltskin was doing the narration. You know, the first one we had Shrek doing the narration. Who do we want to do for the fifth one? I really, really don't know. Surprise me, motherfucker. I want to hear Once Upon a Time start off this movie. Another thing we definitely need a nod at, and we need emphasis on, is that this is a whirlwind adventure for Shrek and Donkey, damn it. We need Donkey to say that Shrek and Donkey are going on another whirlwind adventure, people. You guys remember those signature lines from the first two movies, and they really, really set me to 110% for the rest of the movie. Another must-have for this movie is a frickin' maniacal ass villain. I want someone as devious as the fairy godmother, but as funny as Farquaad. We need somebody who's going to emotionally and physically challenge the hell out of Shrek to the point of self-reflection. Self-reflection is so important for Shrek's character. But come on, people, after 16 years since the last one's release, I really, really, really don't doubt that these filmmakers aren't going to do it more than enough justice. I really don't see how they can screw it up. It seems like they put so much time and energy, blood, sweat, and tears into this. Back before The Last Wish come out, all that people heard were talks of a reboot, and that's what they did with The Last Wish. They completely rebooted the whole animation style. What we see physically is not shooting for hyper-realism anymore. This is not the late 90s and early 2000s where everybody was pushing for just hyper-realism. Shrek was that revolutionary movie that did it first. They sustained human and human-like characters for a 90-minute run. That was the first time that had ever been done with computer animation. But yeah, after Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was left on that amazing cliffhanger, we all knew a Shrek 5 was coming. A fifth Shrek movie that's not gonna push for this hyper-realistic animation art style. It's gonna go more towards this fantasy storybook vibrant rebooted style that we got with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. An art style that looks like a fairy tale storybook, opposed to that hyper-realistic art style that everyone was pushing for back whenever computer animation was new. Thank God that the rebooting stopped with the art style and not the story. I'm just really, really happy to hear that it's going to pick up where the last one left off. Overall, I'm super, super excited for this fifth Shrek movie. A little bit nervous, but more just anxious than anything. I really, really, really can't wait. Like, somebody get me a damn time machine. The original Shrek movie was so revolutionary, not evolutionary, revolutionary in so many ways, be it story-wise or artistically, technologically. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble on about Shrek. This isn't the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time. Let me know what you guys want to hear me talk about. I will literally talk about anything animation related. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. I know I'm a motherfucking geek, and peace. It's not going to be like Toy Story 5 whenever Toy Story 5 comes out. Nobody wanted Toy Story 4 in the first place. I mean, Toy Story 3 was the perfect ending. Toy Story 4 was good. It was... Why am I talking about Toy Story?